All right, we are going to continue on with some breaking news that we are following. Let's take you out right now to New Jersey, right outside of a ICE detention center. And this is where a protest with Democrats turned a little bit upside down. And for more on this, I do want to bring in our my colleague Andrew Kraft to break it all down for us, who has been following this story. It even involves an arrest of a New Jersey mayor. Andrew.
Yeah, Mike, there's a lot happening in Newark today, aside from the problems at the airport with yet another radar outage there. We are learning, we're getting a statement in from the Department of Homeland Security, and they say this, that today, as a bus of detainees was entering the security gate of Delaney Hall Detention Center, you see there, Delaney Hall, that's a live picture, DHS says a group of protesters, including 2 members of U.S. Congress, stormed the gate and broke into the detention facility. The members, Robert Menendez Jr. and Bonnie Watson Coleman, and multiple protesters are holed up in a guard shack, the first security checkpoint. These members of Congress storming into a detention facility goes beyond bizarre political stunt and puts the safety of our law enforcement agents and the detainees at risk. DHS says members of Congress are not above the law and cannot illegally break into detention facilities. Had these members requested a tour, we would have facilitated a tour of the facility. This is an evolving situation. The allegations by Newark politicians that Delaney does not have the proper permitting is false, they say. We have valid permits, and inspection from plumbing, electricity to fire codes has been clear. That's a statement in from the Department of Homeland Security. So 2 of these New Jersey Democrats from the House, Bonnie Watson Coleman and Robert Menendez Jr., are involved in this, as is, Mike, the Democratic mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Alina Habba, the interim acting U.S. attorney for New Jersey. She tweets this: the mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, committed trespass and ignored multiple warnings from Homeland Security investigations to remove himself from the ICE detention center in Newark, New Jersey this afternoon. He has willingly chosen to disregard the law. That will not stand in this state. He has been taken into custody, all caps, no one is above the law, Habba says. So, Mike, what we have right now confirmed by acting U.S. Attorney Habba is that the mayor of Newark, New Jersey right now has been taken into custody. Now, what we can't confirm right now, we do not know kind of the status of these 2 members of Congress, Bonnie Watson Coleman and Robert Menendez Jr. Looks like Congressman Coleman has tweeted this video saying we're at Delaney Hall there. You can see we're taking it full. So this is, like DHS says, an evolving situation. Mike, this is of a piece of some of the stories that we have been covering on illegal immigration, on undocumented migration. Mike, you'll remember, just now, about 2 Fridays ago there in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that federal agents arrested that Milwaukee County judge there for facilitating the kind of release and escape of one of these undocumented migrants. Remember, that was a huge story at the time now there in Milwaukee. This, though, in Newark, New Jersey, unfolding right now. We have a live picture outside the Delaney Hall ICE detention facility where, from what we're told, there was some type of protest organized by New Jersey Democrats, and it has turned somewhat chaotic there and somewhat hairy. And you see there, this is from what, New Jersey Spotlight News on social media. A new video from the scene. You see some of these HSI agents there. That's Homeland Security investigations. I believe there is the mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, and others. This is quite tense. And you see there Congresswoman Watson Coleman. I'm not sure, I don't see Robert Menendez Jr. For those watching, that is the son of disgraced former U.S. Senator Bob Menendez. He is a House member there in New Jersey, his son Menendez Jr. So this is quite a tense situation, turning somewhat physical. Oh, there's Menendez there. You just saw him try to push off some of these other federal agents outside this DHS detention facility. What a video. Wow.
Yeah, so tense there as they make their way past the gate there and then continue to go in, and you see the security police trying to stop them from getting past that gate.
So, Mike, what is so interesting, we don't know whether or not these members of Congress and the Democratic mayor of Newark, whether they're, advocating on behalf of an individual or kind of the, system writ large. That's unknown right now. We don't know whether or not they are kind of pleading on behalf or advocating on behalf of an individual in the detention facility itself. But it seems like, according from the statement we have from DHS, that they had concerns with some of the conditions, Mike, and the facilities themselves at the holding center. And you see there, we have our live picture outside of the Delaney Hall ICE Detention Center, operated by both ICE and DHS. So like I said, this is a very evolving situation. And it did look like in one of these live vantage points, we might get some type of press conference, not sure when.
It did look like that podium was set up there just to the right of the camera, so we'll wait and see on that one. And, it reminds a lot of the first President Trump administration. We did see this in the past where members of Congress would try to go to several different ICE detention centers and go unannounced, of course, and then try to get a look or demand to get inside a look to see what the conditions are like.
Yeah, that's right. It's also somewhat reminiscent in the very early months of the second Trump term, 2.0, we call it here, of some of these Democratic lawmakers kind of standing outside federal buildings in the wake of some of those reported cuts being made to the federal workforce by DOJ. You'll remember just mere months ago, some of these Democratic members of Congress literally tried to kind of storm into the headquarters of the Department of Education, and they were rebuffed. So you're seeing some of these Democratic lawmakers kind of take matters into their own hands, which is really striking. These are elected officials, these are elected representatives, and having situations kind of devolve like that is not something you see every day, frankly, Mike.
No, not at all. And here was just some video from right after the big scene that took place with congressional members, and the protests did continue then after that, but it was much more calmer than what it looked like a little bit ago there. So, Andrew Kraft, thanks again for joining us on Live Now from Fox, giving us some great insight of this breaking news that will be continued to talk about throughout the day. So again, Andrew, thank you again, and we will see you a little bit later here on Live Now from Fox. All right, everyone, and now let's take a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll continue to monitor the situation out in New Jersey, see if there is, in fact, a news conference going to be happening in just moments. If it happens, we'll bring it to you on Live Now from Fox. We'll be back in 2.